This Warlock build is completely taking over Destiny, but I'm concerned that some of you may only have the Temu version. It's less powerful, less survivable, and feels overall kinda meh. In this video, I'm going to show you how to fully optimize this build to conquer whatever content you play. The build we're talking about is the Getaway Artist Warlock build. Basically, when you combine Getaway Artist with an Arc Grenade, it allows you to consume that grenade and get a supercharged Arc Soul. These little turrets absolutely shred enemies. For context, I'm running Mythic Kepler solo in the gameplay. Now, everyone agrees this combination is powerful, but no one can agree on anything else. Which is a shame, because if you want the best version of this build, it's incredibly simple. Let's start with the subclass. We're using the Storm Grenade because that's how we are getting Arc Buddies. It doesn't work on other grenades. And we're also using Feed the Void. You may say, wait, didn't Bungie just make Arc Souls a grenade? Why not just use Facet of Mending instead, since kills with grenade cure you? That's a good point, but here's my argument. Most people think that the main benefit from Feed the Void is health regeneration. It's not. But even if it was, Devour gives you more. 140 HP to be exact. Mending only gives Cure ×1, which is 60 HP. But that's not the main reason to choose it. The main reason is the bonus grenade energy on kills. Take a look at this. If I activate my grenade, it takes 6 kills to get a full grenade back. This is nothing but Getaway Artists and Devour. Now that that's settled, what should you do with your second aspect? And there are 2 different answers, and it all depends on when you're watching this. Because Bungie loves to introduce artifact perks that change the meta, so what is very powerful one season may be just okay in the next. If you're watching this during Ashen Iron, there's one option that is very good, but it may not be as strong next season. Weaver's Call. This aspect summons 3 threadlings when you cast your class ability. What makes this especially powerful is the artifact perk Pack Tactics. This increases the damage of threadlings when your threadlings do damage. 1 stack is 15% and 2 stacks are 30%. But that's going away soon with the artifact. The second option is Bleakwatcher, and this is the superior play. Let me explain why. Most activities in Destiny follow a similar pattern. Run here, defend this area, defeat this boss. And in those encounters, you're often doing some kind of mechanic. Bungie loves to overwhelm players with loads and loads of enemies while you're trying to complete mechanics. Bleakwatcher slows and freezes enemies, which changes the pace of the fight. It's for utility, not damage. This is really good right now because we have Cauterized Darkness, which gives solar weapons a 30% buff versus darkness debuffed enemies. And we're using a solar heavy weapon. Now why is that? Because every recent season or episode includes some stasis synergy. For the rest of the subclass, we go with Song of Flame, the best super in the game. 90% damage resistance, it will keep you alive. Melee is Arcane Needle. This allows us to unravel enemies for aspects Facet of Dominance. Our Arc Grenades jolt targets. Now this includes our Arc Buddy. Facet of Courage allows light abilities to do 10% more damage to enemies affected by darkness debuffs. Facet of Protection, 15% damage resistance when surrounded. And lastly, Facet of Hope. Class ability regenerates faster when we have an elemental buff. Now for stats, it isn't complicated. You want high grenade stat, which means you can go with Grenadier with a primary in grenade and secondary in super, or Gunner with a primary in weapons and a secondary in grenade. In this build, I have 3 pieces of Grenadier armor and 2 pieces of Gunner, leaving me with 170 grenade, 77 super, and 80 weapons. I would like to have my super at 100, but this stat split also allows me to have decent investment in my class ability. As for set bonus, the 2-piece bonus for the Smoke Jumper set gives damage resistance when picking up orbs. However, I don't have 2 pieces in the gameplay, and you can still see how easy it is to survive because of Devour. Lastly, let's talk about weapons. This is the area where you have more flexibility. There are 3 different combinations you can use, and they're all good. First, Mint Retrograde, a Void primary with destabilizing rounds, and the Finality's Augur. A Mint Retrograde is a rocket pulse, which is the best archetype in the game, and it has a unique god roll. Envious Arsenal, Elemental Honing. Envious Arsenal gives you ammo back in the mag when you do damage with your other 2 weapons, so you don't waste time reloading. Elemental Honing, dealing unique elemental damage, grants this weapon a stacking damage bonus for an improved duration. The way this works is that when you do damage with different elements, you gain stacks of Elemental Honing. Now, at 1 stack, this is only 2.5%, but a maximum of 5 stacks, this is 35%. And you've been keeping count. We have 5 unique elements already in our build: Stasis Turret, Arc Buddy, Void Primary, Solar Heavy, and Mint, which counts for Strand. For a Void Primary, I'm using the Word of Crota, which is a raid weapon, but you can use any Void Primary with destabilizing rounds. Mine also has Repulsor Brace, which gives me an overshield when I defeat Void debuffed enemies. Lastly, we have Finality's Augur, the dungeon exotic from Sunder Doctrine. This exotic allows you to special reload and create a pyramid turret. Then you can paint a big boss, and the turret attacks on its own, allowing you to switch to Mint. And if you have the Catalyst, it gives the weapon Bait and Switch, which is a 30% damage bonus. Now, my quest for the Catalyst is bugged, but even without it, I'm able to do massive damage to the Archon. If you don't have Finalities, that's okay. Go to the tower and buy Dragon's Breath from the Monument to Lost Lights. This exotic rocket doesn't do as much damage, but it's still damage over time. You can shoot it, then swap to your other weapons. Dragon's Breath is still working in the background. Before I share the last option, I want to ask you for a favor. If you are enjoying this video, please leave it a like. We are saving up to upgrade our video editing software. Currently, we can only render at 30 FPS, which is awful. Upgrading our software will allow us to create and post at 60 FPS. Okay, back to the video. Now, if you're playing a support role and you're using Tractor Cannon for a debuff on a boss, this is what you do. But first, I heard that Tractor debuff counts as 2 unique damage sources. Huh, myth busted. Next up, swap to a Solar Primary. I highly recommend either an SMG or an auto rifle with heal clip and incandescent. This gives you good ad clear and an extra layer of healing. Now let's talk about armor mods. You have 2 objectives. First, create lots of orbs. So on my helmet, I have a siphon for my primary weapon. Then I have double firepower mods on my gauntlets. This allows my grenades, including the Arc Soul, to create orbs of power. And since I'm using 2 mods, the cooldown is only 5 seconds. Finally, I have a Reaper mod on my class item, so after I use my class ability, my next weapon kill creates an orb. Now for the second objective, build into weapons. Not the stat, the actual guns. Choose mods that generate ammo and make your weapons hit harder. On my helmet, I'm using a special ammo finder, which boosts the ammo generation of Mint Retrograde. On the chest, I'm using a Void ammo generation for my primary weapon. On the boots, I have 1 surge mod for Mint and 1 for my heavy weapon. Finally, I'm using a time dilation mod on my class item to increase the surge timer to 15 seconds. If you want to see more Destiny 2 builds like this, subscribe and join the channel. GG's, Fireteam.